Listen, I do not think Sam Darnold is going to. I think he's graduated out of pumpkin mode. You asked me that on the call this morning, and it made me really think about it. I was like, I
Gord
don't.
on the board?
Okay.
Sorry,
That's too much. I know it's Thanksgiving season.
Heat check.
This is such an idiot. I just read through.
Gord on the board?
Sorry. However, I think Sean McVay and that Rams defense, really the Rams defense, not McVay, could make him see some ghosts again.
Ooh. If he sees ghosts.
Again, it's temporary. No, 23-20, I just think, here, again, I don't think it means like, oh no, now Darnold's about to melt down moving forward. But I think in this game, the Rams, because since Sam Darnold's been good the last 2 years, what is true is he's 0-2 against Detroit, he's 0-2 against the Rams, 0-1 against Tampa, and the only other team that's beaten him is San Francisco, 1-1 against San Francisco. And so I think really good teams that, and I know Detroit at the end of the year didn't have a good defense, but they did when they played them. Or they're still a really good team. They have, when you have been able to force Sam Darnold-led teams out of kind of what they're trying to do, he's had a little bit of trouble. I think the Rams are going to be able to do that. Again, I think I had Seattle atop the tiers.
Yeah.
And I think Darnold, I don't think Darnold, I do not feel about Darnold the way I feel about Daniel Jones. I think he's legitimately, for a year and a half now, been a really good quarterback. But I believe in the Rams this weekend and SoFi.
This is interesting because you had Seattle above the top of the tiers. I didn't like that. And as I was looking at this game, though, I found myself feeling like Seattle's going to pull off.
Wow.
I think it would be an upset. I think Darnold is going to play his first really good game against a great team, a top team. You got a lot to take away.
Yeah.
Because he don't only have Jackson Smith and Jigba. Cooper Kupp is there. You just added Rashid Shaheed. They have a lot of weapons. They run the ball okay, good enough. And so I actually think, I don't look at it so much as Darnold outplaying Stafford, but I think Darnold's going to play well. And I think Stafford's going to play well, but I don't think this is going to be like a 4-touchdown game where he just lights up the opposition. I like Seattle's defense. So I actually think Seattle will pull off this upset.
Wow. Yeah, so Seattle's riding, the fifth longest road win streak in NFL history. And if Sam Darnold goes there and loses this game and plays poorly, it's bad news. Because, again, like we talked about yesterday, this is another big moment for him. And if he can't perform in these big moments, we're back to where we were at the end of last year. And all that success, everybody's going to take a step back and say he's the same guy.
Can we stop pretending like Sam Darnold hasn't played well in big games against great teams? Can we just stop with that nonsense false narrative? It was a big game against the Buccaneers. What did he do? Oh, threw for 28 for 34, 341 yards, 10 yards per attempt, 4 touchdowns, had the interception. Oh no, he's the first quarterback to ever turn the ball over. On a fluky thing and a brilliant blitz by Todd Bowles. 0 sacks, a QBR of 97.3, and a 135.4 passer rating. Why did they lose that game? Because of whatever the heck that Jalen Milroe little disaster was. That. I took from 2024 all of Sam Darnold's difficult games, all the difficult games, the ones that he failed in, the ones that he succeeded in, against the Texans, the Packers, the Rams, the Bears, the division rival, the divisional games against the Lions, obviously, both games against the Lions, the Rams playoff game on the wild card round. So I took all the difficult games, all the most important games. I left out any of the easy ones. So I didn't do against the Jets, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Colts, no Titans, no Cardinals, none of that. No New York Giants game 1, none of that. He was second in the NFL during that time in total yards. 3,165 yards, 65.8% completion percentage, 27 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. 27. 6 interceptions. Jared Goff, 24 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Baker Mayfield had 28, 11 interceptions. Josh Allen, 19 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So we can stop pretending like Sam Darnold hasn't shown up, because it's pretty ridiculous. Also top in the NFL in big-time throws. Tied for second with 22. Josh Allen had everyone beat with 27. So I don't understand what we're trying to invent here. Oh, and guess what? You talk about having a quarterback be uncomfortable and get him off what he did in that same time period. He had 183 dropbacks with pressure. The second most was 155. And he had a 106.8 passer rating, which was 6th in the NFL. These are the hardest games. So when you see all the other quarterbacks that are higher, a lot of these other quarterbacks, this is obviously not everyone has their hardest games in the exact same weeks. So when Lamar Jackson has higher, Jared Goff has higher, there's random games in there. Maybe for the Lions and Jared Goff, there was the game against the Carolina Panthers or whatever. So even like the rankings don't even really matter. It's just like the hard numbers that matter more than anything for Sam Darnold. But being pressured 183 times at that rate, if it was a full season, if these numbers were equalized over a full season, he would be pressured over 250 times, which would have been top in the NFL. He was already pressured a ton. So, yeah. We can stop pretending like Sam Darnold hasn't shown up. Yeah, he had some rough games. Yes, he lost against the Rams and the Lions. Congrats. Lots of people have. Congrats. Justin Herbert did. Congrats. Patrick Mahomes did. What did Patrick Mahomes look like when he was pressured a million times against the Buffalo Bills? Not great. How about when he was pressured versus the Philadelphia Eagles? Not great. How about Justin Herbert against the Houston Texans in the playoffs when he was pressured? Not great. Because it matters? Yeah. That's why. But he still had 27 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Again, against his hardest games. That took all the hard games. And this is what he did. It's pretty legit to me. In just his hardest games alone, he had more touchdowns than over half the league. More passing yards than well over half the league. Higher completion percentage more than half the league. Higher passer rating, and still had higher pressures than the bulk. He had 185 or 183, whatever the number was. Would have put him at, just a tick under top 10. And that's, like I said, that's removing all things. But he still had 236. That's how much this man was pressured. Joe Burrow, who had one of the worst O-lines I've ever seen in my entire life, was pressured 248. Now, I'm sure Joe Burrow had more dropbacks. He did. He dropped back 725. Sam Darnold, 622. That's how much they relied on Joe Burrow just to throw. Pretty wild. But yeah, we can stop. So even if they lose and they lose badly and Sam Darnold doesn't play great or whatever, it's like, all right, this is a game. That's what happens. It's not as much of a pattern as people would like to make you believe it is. When Sam Darnold played the Rams last season in 24, he did his job. 18 for 25, 240 yards, 9.6 yards per attempt, 2 touchdowns, a 128.8 passer rating. They didn't run the ball. They had 64 yards. And that was the game that Sam Darnold had 2 face masks that weren't called. One of them in his own end zone. It's not his fault. They rushed for over 100 yards and Stafford threw for 280. 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. So, I just think it's an unfair narrative right now. completely. I just think we have to retire this narrative. Sam Darnold's allowed to have a bad game. He's allowed to struggle. He's allowed to lose. And it's not an indictment or kind of like there's going to be serious questions about him now. No. He's risen to the occasion. He's stepped up. He's been great. It just is what it is. Yeah. I'll just leave it at that. I've said a lot about this game already. I'm super excited. These are two teams that I believe in. I think two teams that have been playing awesome with quarterbacks who have been playing great. They're both highly, highly well coached. They execute at an incredibly high level. Great roster, great impact players all over, offense, defense for both teams. This is a big game. This is a big game. And I'm not so sure anything else more needs to be said, but you can have the Seahawks win this game and have Stafford not play great, and it's not an indictment on Stafford. And you could have the Rams play great and the Seahawks struggle, and Stafford can't, and Sam can't get it going. It's not an indictment on Sam. Like that's not how this works. But we can talk about the quality of the team. We can talk about, has one team benefited more than the other from playing a lighter schedule or, whatever it may be. For sure. And that's why it's so great that these two teams are playing each other. Because they've had a similar type of season where they've been able to benefit from not so great teams. Played a couple tough teams, have won, have lost, right? Like, now they're playing each other. So it's show me what you got. Show me what you got. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Los Angeles Rams? Will Sam Darnold see ghosts? Will he struggle? Will it be an indictment on who he is as a quarterback? Pumpkin mode? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.